What's going on, everybody? This is Travis from Dual Humor, back at you again with a really cool deck profile, one of my favorite decks, ADAMANCIPATOR Prank Kids. You know, this deck is a lot like Cialis. Keep you rock hard for hours while your opponent is tight. Yeah, boy. Anyways, I like to call this deck Kick Rock Kids. This deck is a lot of fun. Basically, you're trying to mix Prank Kids Roxy's, it's got to be the super rare, it doesn't work, with the ADAMANCIPATOR cards, words, and it works very, very well because you'll end on the ability to go into Battle Butler while manipulating some life points, and you'll be able to use that effect twice. So let's hop right into it. We're going to start out with the starters. What do you know? We play the 9 minors. You have to play 9. Researcher might be one of the best ones because you only need a rock on field. Seeker, probably one of the other, maybe this is actually the worst one now that I think about it, because Analyzer is a little bit better. If your opponent controls a monster and you don't, you can special this from your hand. So a nice way to bait negations. And then what I like to call the other honorary ADAMANCIPATOR card is Doki Doki. In this version, you're going to need to play 3. There's a lot of ways to get rocks into your hand, and yeah, definitely this will be able to tutor out your ADAMANCIPATOR cards. So nice to get this off the top as long as you're hitting them. So that gives you 12 starters. Not a bad place to start. Next, 3 ADAMANCIPATOR signs. This is like basically the entire ADAMANCIPATOR package. This one specials a rock from the graveyard, and it is if it's an ADAMANCIPATOR card, you can stack a rock on top of your deck. Very important because you can stack the Guardian to ensure that you will mill the monster negation onto your field. This is a very good card. You also need to play 3 of this for consistency purposes, and it is your main way to play around Nibiru, Ash, Droll, all those cards. You definitely need to be playing 3 of this because, it'll come up a lot, and it'll just ensure that you'll be able to mill it. We are playing 40 cards. Next, 3 Seeker. When this is special summoned, you can search the Guardian, but also if a rock is sent from the field to the graveyard by linking it off, synchroing it, whatever, you can special this from your hand. So one of your key extenders, you got to play 3. And then finally, Dragite. This is also a card that you'll maybe want to stack on top of your deck with signs. When it's special summoned, you get to draw a card. It's also a water attribute, which comes up with your effect negation, because Dragite needs water and grave, which ironically can be fulfilled by your Prank Kids cards. Next and last for the main deck extenders to exceed, you could play 3 of this, maybe cut a supplier. I like to play 2 just to ensure that I have a higher rock count in my deck to hit off of the minors, but 3 is also pretty good. It's a wind, for your synchro monster, but a great extender because this will actually get you either into your synchro plays because it becomes level 4, or you can actually go into your rank 4 plays, which could be Abyss Dweller or Gallic Granite. So very important. Finally, for the monsters, we'll head to the Prank Kids portion. Play 3 Roxys. You got to play the 3. That way that when you mill rocks, you can actually summon this and go into your Link 1 immediately. There's also a pretty good reason for why you want to be playing the Prank Kids in this deck. I'll explain it in a minute. But this one allows you to draw a card as well, so very, very crucial to filtering through your deck. And we run 1 of each of the other attributes. So this is to, basically the combo is that you want to summon Roxy's, go into your Link 1, summon your Fansies, draw a card, and then when you link this card off, you'll use its effect to send Lampsies and then summon Dropsies. The reason you want to summon Dropsies as well is because it is a level 2, so if you have to, you can go into your Herald off of your Halki-Fibrax effect, summoning the Formula Synchron. So I like it for that reason. You also ensure that when it's sent from field, you'll be able to get that effect. So pretty nice. This one gives you 1,000 life points. This one burns for 500, so great in time. And then finally, we play the Pandemonium. You search this off of your doodle-doo. So pretty great. I love this package. It works very, very well with the ADAMANCIPATOR cards because it's very easy to hit the 3 off of your ADAMANCIPATORs, especially if you start off with 2. That's 10 cards you're digging into your deck after you've already drawn 5. So that makes your percentage basically 100% that you're going to end on a board of like 10 negates. 10 negates, baby, let's go. And then I like to run 3 Ash. This card isn't super important to run in the deck, but I absolutely would hate to run a deck without hand traps, and I just think Ash is, one of the better ones this format. Hits Virtual World, hits some key cards in other decks. So I like Ash. It's also a fire for your Raptite, so that's pretty nice. Or sorry, your Leonite. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, so I like Ash, but running the 3, and then on to kind of maybe your flex spots. These could be like utility cards, or you could interchange these. If you don't have these cards, these are the expensive ones. You could interchange these for other extenders like your Third Exceed, maybe Called by the Grave, Upstart, Monster Reborn. All of those cards are amazing in ADAMANCIPATOR. You could even tech in like a Rock Band Xeno guitar and recycle some of your miners, which can be pretty crucial for follow-up turns. But I am running the 3 talents. I just think this card is amazing. Can allow you to kind of break through boards as well as just draw into your critical extenders that you need to keep playing. This deck has a very tough time trying to stick monsters on board, especially if they've negated 1 and you've missed off your milling, which won't happen to you because Papa bless you. You'll always hit your mills. And then I'm also playing the 3 droplet. As like a worst case scenario, you can set this card. Best case scenario, you're able to play through your Drytron boards, stuff like that. Hit a Calamities. Luckily for you, they weren't able to set the Chuche to play around this, so good for you. You're always lucky. So that's it for the deck. We play 40 cards. Like I said, there's a few cards in here that you could change yourself if you wanted to play different ratios, but this is what I like to play. And then on to the extra deck. So starting off with the big boy, Satellite Warrior. I love this card. You don't have to play this. You could actually maybe play an Appaloosa. That probably has more applications. But I like this for, all the back row decks that are in today's format. It's really amazing to just kind of like tag this out at either the end of their turn or in the middle of someone's turn. You get their prank kids off the field, that kind of thing. Really great, but you can pop cards up to the number of synchro cards in your graveyard, and it gains 1,000 attack for each card you destroyed, and you can summon it off formula, and it is a level 10. So pretty, I don't want to say easy to get into, but it will come up, but you don't have to play it. Onto our level 8s, we do play the Crystal Wing. This is kind of like maybe your last case scenario synchro that you want to go into, but Monster Negate also destroys. I would say it's very, very effective in today's format. A lot of monster effects that like have to go off for opponents' turns. And then also running the Savage Dragon. So I said earlier, there's a good reason to run the Prank Kids cards. Doodle Doo ensures that you'll get a Link 2 with 2,000 attack in the grave. That means that you can easily go into your Savage Dragon off of your Leonite, or I'm sorry, can't speak, off of your level 6, the Raptite, and you'll be able to link you'll be able to synchro with the level 2 into the Savage Dragon, attaching the Doodle Doo, making it 4,000 attack, giving you 2 negates, so pretty crucial. You could also take out the Crystal Wing for Appaloosa if you wanted to. That's another option. Onto the ADAMANCIPATOR Synchros. I like to play a Leonite. Some people don't, but I think it's great because you can summon Guardian back on your opponent's turn, especially if you have Ash in hand. I think that that's a really cool way to play with this card. Can also be kind of crucial in summoning back your Raptite for further turns, because this deck, since it lost Block Dragon, it's kind of hard to recover if you get stopped in any certain way. Dark Ruler No More, Droplet. People play those cards. What do you know? But Dragite, great spell and trap negation if you have a Water and Grave, like I was saying. So pretty great to run the Dragite level 4. But also non-targeting, bounce back to hand. So really amazing, can out a Dragoon, can out an entire field of back row, can do all sorts of things. Love this card. Really, really great to follow up turns, turn 3, turn 5. This will come up for you. And then of course Raptite, you want to go into this immediately, summon another miner from deck. Last for our synchros, we are running the formula. Summon this off your Halki Fibrax. You do have to be aware that your opponent will have turn player priority when it goes to their turn 2. So you'll have to wait for them to either place a card on the field, summon a monster, or activate a card before you can tag out Halki Fibrax by banishing it. Summoning Formula from the extra deck. Formula gets to draw you a card. Be very careful about chain links. You'll want to do this when you're in a neutral game state. So say your opponent sets a card, that would be a great time to activate Halki Fibrax. But if your opponent activates a card and you try to chain, since it won't be the last thing that happened, you won't get the draw effect. Very good, very important to be aware of that, because that extra card will make or break your games. two XYZs that we go into, the Gallic Granite, Have to Play This in Rocks, and Abyss Dweller. This card's amazing this format. I think it is game-winning on its own. Not bad to end on this, especially since we run a lot of level 4s. Very easy to go into. Just be careful about your zones. It's so easy to clog your zones before you can go into this. So you either want to go into this first, or just be aware of how you're using your level 4s. So you can mess yourself up with that. Plus, if you have, this is kind of funny, if you have Dragite underneath it, the level 4, all of your water monsters gain, I believe it's 300 attack? 500 attack, so...
That's a big boy.
That's a big boy, so you'll make him 22, your Halki Fibrax will get buffed, your Dragite can get buffed, that can be pretty funny. You know, set your monsters in defense position, come on, people have Lightning Storm. Battle Butler, oh man, this card's fun, man. Double Raigeki. Pretty great, and then when it's destroyed, you could even summon the Roxy's back from graveyard to give yourself a, you know, level 4 rock to keep extending with. But amazing card to go into. You will not be summoning this on your turn, usually. But if you activate Pandemonium, you won't be able to go into anything else. So that can be really important to remember, that if you are trying to do your, you know, your formula plays with like Warrior or maybe one of your level 8 synchros, you won't be able to do it after you activate Pandemonium. So Pandemonium is normally the last card you want to activate. If you go into this like on your turn, you're just running the risk of getting Dark Ruler No More, Dropleted, that kind of thing. So I wouldn't do that. I would just set the Pandemonium. Be smart with your cards. This deck does take a lot of skill to play. Next, we're running the Access Code Toka and the Unicorn. These are great links to go into for spot removal, ensure games. You can buff this to 5300 really easily. And the Doodle Doo are link 2. This, you tag it out to the graveyard, and you can add your 2 Prankids back to hand. You know, target the attribute Prankids that you need to add them back to hand. That way you'll have Dropsies on field, and then Lampsies and Fansies in hand. So you'll need all 3 to summon Butler. Just be remember that fact. And then Halki Fibrax, if you don't know what this does, play a different game. And Meow Meow, the link 1, which allows you to do your combo. This deck is gaining a lot of popularity right now. A lot of the lists are going to start looking similar, just because I think, you know, this is kind of the way to play it if you want to play like the high level expensive cards. But there's a lot of ways to play this deck kind of on a budget. Researcher right now is getting cheaper. It's like $25 probably at the time of this video. But I would get them now while they're cheap. Although I know this deck is taking off, and so a lot of people are playing it. But, you know, hop on that train early. So that's going to be it for the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, maybe at some point we'll upload replays, something like that, live duels. I don't know. It's an interesting deck to showcase. There's a lot of things you have to remember when you're piloting it. But yeah, that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Travis signing off.